Hi there, my name is Alyssa Escobar. I have been part of True Story Theater for the last 4.5 years, and I want to tell you a little bit about Monologues and Scenes. This is a form that was something we did early on when we started with Zoom. It's a lot when you first start to work on Zoom to be aware of the technology, all the new ways in which you're working, and I really enjoyed this form because it is a great narrative. It really gets into each little piece, and also it's got pretty straightforward form. So Amber, who is in the upper right-hand corner, is the teller's actor. Caroline, who told a story about her frustration with the world because she has biracial children and she feels as though they're not being supported, seen, and heard by her community and friends. I'm down in the lower right-hand corner playing her friend Pam, who's an example of people not understanding what it means to be an ally, an advocate. Anne, who's down in the lower left-hand corner, is playing her child, and up in the upper left-hand corner, Charles is actually our mystery character. So you'll see he comes in with something that hasn't quite been seen or heard fully after the two other characters are cast, which really can help us to have clarity in our narrative and storytelling. So to begin with, the music table will come on, and we see that Amber is activated to move and is waiting for music to come down before she gives her verbal offer.
Okay. Hang in there.
Amber sets the scene.
Hang in there.
Gives us context.
Oh, gosh, sometimes I just need Pam to get it.
So when I hear Pam's name, that's when I start to activate, and you can see me, I'll start to move towards the screen and wait for exactly what the offer is coming from Amber.
These are my kids. This is their future.
Amber, what are you talking about? I don't even understand. I mean, I'm talking about how unfair affirmative action is. That has nothing to do with your kids and family.
You really don't see it.
So I bring in a strong character, and this character definitely is representing kind of everybody who's not understanding what it means for her to have support and people who are advocating around her.
You don't see how that unfairness is like
the job.
What?
Again, we're on Zoom, and this is a great thing to not forget when you are on Zoom. If the sound cuts out, you can't hear somebody, make sure that you ask what. And Amber does a great job of that right now, making sure that I know that I haven't been heard and repeat what I say again.
It's about the best candidate for the job. I mean, that's what is important.
Do you not?
Yeah, Amber.
Do you not get the history? Do you not get the legacy we're up against that we need to change? You're not getting it, are you? I'm just yelling at, oh, my friend.
I just don't see any point in watching the news or knowing what's going on. I just believe what I think, and that's good enough.
Yes, so we'll see. I call her Amber instead of the teller's name, so something to watch out for. When you can't see it in this, but we're all seeing each other's names on the bottom of the screen, and that caused some confusion for me. So just practicing, making sure that you really remember the teller's name and don't get confused by seeing the actor's name at the bottom of the screen. Usually we would end after just those two exchanges. I kept it just one more beat longer, and I tried to keep it short because there was this very important piece about this person refusing to educate herself, refusing to watch the media, and you'll hear the music comes in very quickly afterwards to move us along, and I will actually disappear because there's somebody who's doing tech for us who will take me off the screen.
Oh my gosh, I just want to shoot her sometimes. Wake up, listen, look, learn. Come on. I need you to be my buddy in this. I need you to help Hey, come in. I'm on a call.
So we see the next character activated by Amber, and immediately Anne comes in and is embodying her one of her 3 children.
Alma, come in. Hey.
Hey, Mom!
Hey, sweeties.
Hey! Ah. You look kind of sad. How come you look sad?
You all are so perceptive. Yes, I am sad sometimes. I want the best for you, and sometimes I feel like even... thanks for noticing.
Love you.
So there's so many beautiful things about this scene between the 2 of them, but there's really a slowing down, a listening, and an exchange that you get in these scenes, and just the deep listening and the slowing down is what we really get out of this scene. And then you'll see in a moment, we'll actually start to hear the children in the background, and I love that Anne uses the opportunity to kind of be like maybe one of the older kids in the family.
Hey, Mom. I love you so much, and I want this world to open up and to welcome you for exactly who you are. You are so needed and beloved and precious and powerful.
Okay, that's enough. I'll see you later.
Bye. I'll get back to the call. My babies.
So now we've got our mystery character.
To know that we all need to help out to support all of our young people.
So Charles is coming forward with an offer to bring in Amber's attention. We might want the offer to be a little quicker so she can respond.
Yes.
I don't know if I did the right thing.
Mm.
But I insisted as your kids' whiteness to make myself discreet in them, just to give a little bit more room to their blackness. And I know that now you feel like you're thrown in the unknown, but I insisted to keep myself very discreet. I did it intentionally.
So this final offer, it's not a character. We've had some really concrete people. So now we're going into the larger picture, which is one of the beautiful things about the mystery character. Whatever's not caught in the little scenes can kind of come into this last offer. And so we're talking really about something, which is that this woman identifies as white. Her children are biracial. Her partner is black. And that Charles here is talking about how their whiteness will not be seen. It is the blackness that will be seen, and that she has not grown up with knowing this, and there's fear around learning what the difficulties will be for her children.
I hope you'll understand one day, and you'll be not scared.
Oh, I welcome you. I welcome all aspects, but sometimes I'm fearing for my children.
I know. But I'll stay discreet. That's how it goes.
So it's also kind of beautiful because we didn't need to tie a bow, as sometimes what we talk about in our company, at the end there and make everything feel okay, right? The end of this story is that these issues are still here. This is the way that our country is, and now we get to see the response from Amber playing the teller's actor in a final monologue.
I want to feel everyone standing side by side and looking and being and seeing what we need to do together, opening up our eyes for all the children, for my children, for their beautiful skin to be welcomed in. I need you, my friends. I need you, Pam, and all of my friends out there to see this is real.
So throughout this, we will see when people come further from the camera and closer to the camera, especially when they're giving an offer. So for this final one, Amber's doing a great job of really looking straight directly into the camera, which can also be a challenge on Zoom. Looking right at the camera instead of at the actors or anybody else there. She's the only one on screen, so this is a beautiful final moment for her.
Please. Let their voices be heard. Let my children's voices have space.
I particularly love that ending there. So our teller had her sound on at the time. She was off screen, but we could hear every once in a while the kids' voices coming in the background, and music table came in to kind of close things up, and Amber takes the opportunity to actually use that as if it's an offer from the music table of the children's voices screaming and the laughing, and it just was so heartwarming to have that be the ending of that piece for the mom, instead of it being like, oh no, the sound of the kids screaming in the background is kind of, messing with the artistic vision. It became part of it, which is so beautiful, and one of the things about us being in people's living rooms, basically, in some fashion when we're doing these Zoom calls. Yeah, so there's so much to be learned about from this. One is that you're listening for that activation from the teller's actor. You might want to come in first with some sort of movement before you start speaking, and that we want to get those offers out there pretty quickly so that we can have the quick exchange, maybe 2, 3 back and forths if something really needs to be said, and then moving along. There were so many wonderful examples of using what is actually happening in the situation for this story. So I invite you to, if you hear a sound in the background, if you can't hear somebody in Zoom, to in character ask what or make it part of it. It's a beautiful piece of the improv work, and it can be very satisfying in a show. So I hope this was helpful, and that you continue to enjoy this series where we go through and we kind of break down all these different forms and how to bring them to Zoom.